Okay, so now let's have the real lesson on our menstrual cycle that we should have had. Again, you might want to laugh a little, you might want to cry a little. For those of you who have already gone through menopause, you're like, why? I've had so many women in their 60s and 70s say to me, like, why the heck has no one told, like, why am I 70 years old and finding out how my body worked? Why am I 70 years old and actually having the first real conversation around a menstrual cycle? And for that, I apologize. I'm so sorry. But now you can go and you can push your daughters and your granddaughters to have the conversations now, maybe even your great grandbabies, right? Like, we can make a change. And it doesn't mean that there aren't changes that aren't going to impact your quality of life, but let's change it for generations to come. For those of you who are in the middle of it, like right now, we can teach our daughters better. And that's where it was for me. It was like, oh, heck no, I don't, this is miserable. I don't want my daughters to go through this. I want it to be different. And so it requires me to learn more so I can show up as a mom, be like, here's my example of how I'm going to take care of myself. You can do better than mom did. Let's do this, right? Okay, so here's our menstrual cycle. Also, clarity for those who have had a hysterectomy, you're still cycling. You're not currently having a period or a menstrual cycle, but your cycle, your body has all of the cells in your body, they communicate with your sex hormones. And those receptor sites didn't get a memo. Hey, today she had a hysterectomy. We don't need to communicate with estrogen, progesterone, testosterone anymore. Like, that's not what happens. So your body is still looking like, hey, any day now, estrogen should be popping up. Any day now, progesterone should be showing her face. Like, it's still looking. And so it's still calling for those hormones. It's still waiting for them to show up. This is also true for those of you who have gone through menopause. Again, you're not having a period anymore, but your body was set up to live on a rhythm. And it's this rhythm right here. Okay. So there's still lifestyle factors like food. There are things like supplements. There are things like movement that still impact this rhythm, even if you do not have a period. Okay. So this is what your period looks like. If at any time you have question or your spouse is watching this with you and they're wondering, I think that you might be undiagnosed with multiple personality disorder. You might, because ladies, we have many different hormones that take control over our brain during the month, and they have very different needs and outcomes. So 1 month or 1 week out of the month, we're a little snappy, right? And then we have another week where we're like, I love you. I love you. Everything's great. Our skin is glowing. We feel fantastic. Then we know the week where we're super bloated and we want to hide out in the house. You're like, I was an introvert or was an extrovert. Now I'm an introvert. And your husband's going like, I don't know how to make you happy. Last week it was all protein. Today you only want to eat potato chips and chocolate. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to help with grocery shopping. I don't even know what you like to eat anymore. And it's because of what's happening here. Our body has very specific expectations depending on which hormone is in control. There's actually a time of the month that we're better drivers. Yeah, we have better spatial recognition when our estrogen is a little bit higher. It just that turns out we have worse driving skills when estrogen is a little bit lower. So it completely impacts the way that we function, we perceive the world, the way we interact with our kids, our spouse, our besties. Like, it changes. It also impacts the way that we show up in the gym. If you're like, I don't understand. Sometimes I can work out really hard. Other times I'm like, I'd rather crawl on the floor like a slug. Like, I just don't think I can lift a weight. It's all impacted by this, but probably not in the way that you think. So throughout a month, we have multiple different hormones. In the beginning of the month, when your period starts, so day one of your cycle, whether you have gone through menopause, had a hysterectomy, or you're brand new to the game, day one is the day your period starts, and all of your hormones are low. Okay. But during this period of time, the one hormone that's trying to climb real good right here is estrogen. And she doesn't like carbs. And guess what? Every girl wants to eat while she's on her period. Chocolate, all the carbs, right? We're craving all the salty, carby things. It actually blocks estrogen from climbing. So we're doing a lot of damage during our cycle for this lady to be able to get as high as she needs to go. And the second half of the month, our hormone that we want to peak is progesterone. So this is often when we do labs. And if you have somebody else doing your labs, they should tell you that it should be on day 21 of your cycle if you still have a menstrual cycle. And if they don't, they're not accurately checking your hormone levels. So day 21 is so we can actually see the peak of your progesterone production. And progesterone doesn't come out to play when there's no carbohydrates. So for every woman who's watching this or has a friend that's like, girl, I figured out the keto life, it's keto. Nope. Keto is fantastic right here. Keto is horrendous here. If you don't eat carbs, progesterone won't come out to play and you'll be anxious and you'll quit sleeping. You'll jack up your hormones. So there's times of the month that we have to change how we eat.